Well, hello, my YouTube friend. Today it is my pleasure to present you my newest acquisition, this FTR4 Brolab collaboration between Brian Felthoelter and Jeremy Horton on the grind. So this video will probably be a little bit more erratic than usual because passion will surpass reason. Uh, I know that I'm usually erratic, but probably even more on this one. Uh, yeah, collecting, this collecting thing, whether it's knives, watches, whatever you want to collect, it's all about passion, of course. But when I do those videos, I'm trying to get some reason and, to organize my thoughts in order to make those reviews. Other than that, I mean, if it was only just passion and rants, it wouldn't be really interesting, I think. Now, a reason don't really evolve in time. I mean, the big reasoning, what I think about life, moral values, friends, family, all those things, they don't really evolve in time. And I think it's the same for you. I'm a logical man. What I think today is probably the same that what I used to think like 25 years ago when I started to become an adult, probably even more than that, more than 25 years ago. So reasoning don't really evolve in time. Now, when it comes to passion, passion evolves dramatically. Most of the time, it evolves. On one side. Usually, you like or you get passionate about one thing, and eventually you end up disliking it. Like for people, for things, it's most of the time like that. And that's why we are experiencing a lot of divorce in our society. Usually it's this way around. You love something, and at the end of the day, you may end up disliking it or hating it even at some point. Now, sometimes it can work also the other way around. So something that you dislike, you may end up loving it, and it can happen, like really fast. And this is exactly what happened with that knife. Basically, on paper, it has everything that I should dislike. First of all, a chisel grind. I hate chisel grind. And to be honest with you, other than Horton, as of today, I still hate them. Brian Felthoelter never really cared for his design, and as of today, really don't. But it is how it is. Bend clip, I just abhor bend clip. Yes, I have a bend clip here. So, like I said, on paper, the grind, chisel grind, I don't like that. The design, I don't like. The bend clip, I don't like. I should not even consider that knife. And yet, instantly, it became an ultimate keeper and probably one of my favorite knives in my collection. So how uncanny can that be? Only passion can explain that. Only that. I mean, it doesn't have any logical sense whatsoever. Only passion can lead to a point where this grind, as chisel as it can be, speaks to my heart. This handle and this design speaks to my heart, and there is no reasoning for that. It's just how it is, and I cannot make any kind of sense out of it. The only thing that I can do is just mention it and try to start after already almost 4 minutes this review and try to just describe the knife as it is and try to make you understand why I feel like that. But words are hard to use to explain a feeling, So that's why probably this video will be a little bit more erratic than usual. So what do we have here? We will start with the handle. First of all, we have a handle with a finish that I like. This is obvious. This is something that I can obviously say that I really like. First of all, I absolutely adore, when you have a lot of junction on the knife, because as I said, it's a way for an artist, a maker, to express his craft. Because whenever you have junction, if you can make them seamless, again, it's just as a craftsman, that's just fantastic. And I can tell you one thing, all the junction, and they have a lot, you have here, because you have a kind of double bolster here, and the scale, or describe it the way you want it. This is basically a piece of titanium that is milled to let this inlay of of micarta, fit inside. So you have junctions here that are absolutely seamless. Here, the same, seamless on the back, and seamless here. Of course, here you're gonna have a little gap. To be honest with you, that's a bolster lock, of course, and the only bolster lock that I've seen with no gap here on the lock part is probably the kickstop Hokkaido that I had. Basically, because of the tension of the lock, you can expect to have some gap here, but this is really minor on this one, and the finish is just excellent on the knife. I love brown canvas micarta. This is probably one of the finish that I like the most. Like for EDC specifically, I really like this deep stone wash and this brown canvas micarta. This is just a perfect finish for me for EDC. I tend to dislike more and more dressier knives. I like to have accents of Thai mask, some nice dressy accents on the knife, but like full mokutai, all those dressy knives there, I tend to dislike them more and more because they're not fit for even for playing. I mean, they're slippery. You have all the traces of your fingers when you use them and everything. So some accents are good, but like full mokuta, I don't like that. So basically, I like more and more to go back to my roots. Like micarta was the favorite material of Bob Loveless. So if you're passionate about knives, you have to like micarta. And this one is really, really well done. A nice pieces of micarta. So the handle, I just like it. I mean. And for EDC, that's a lightweight knife. Overall, you have an 8-inch long overall length, and the ergos on this knife are fantastic. I mean, I have an XL hand and the grip is fantastic. I mean, enough said about that. Just great ergos. Here you have a nice ramp for your finger here because it's a flipper, and here you have a very, very nice and effective jimping. So very nice carry. It's a light knife. This is something that I like also. Smaller and lighter knives. Whenever you're going to put some zirconium or those materials, they're heavy. It's not something that you will easily carry like that or even play with them. It's just hard to play with a knife where the ergos are not good, where as I said, there's an art in knives, there's function, there's EDC. I can understand a knife, and I have a lot of them, knives that are not EDC friendly, but at least when you take them in hands, I want to have something that has some nice ergo and that makes you want to play with it, and this has everything about that. I mean, it's lightweight and the ergos are great. That's a fantastic, fantastic handle that we have here. So bolster lock, really like bolster lock. The clip, as I said, I hate long clip, I hate bend clip, but this one just fits perfectly well here. I like the fact that they put the maker logo on the clip and not on the blade. This way I have sterile blade, which is something that I like above all, as you know. Backspacer in micarta. They have a lot of finish on those FTR, and I'll be honest with you, most of them I don't really like. I like the bolster lock. I like this one because it has a symmetrical finish, like bolster lock, like scales of micarta on both sides, double bolster like that. I like symmetrical finish. Of course, the clip is not symmetrical, but you know what I mean. I don't like when you have on the presentation side some inlay here and just a lock on the other. This is something that I like, and this is my trend of the day. Either I go for liner locks and symmetrical, of course, finish on both sides, or bolster lock, or simple frame lock. I like when it's symmetrical. Now, the action, as you can see, is smooth as silk. The only complaint that I would have on this knife is probably the detent. The detent is fair, so you see this won't open by accident, but when you flick it hard enough, it will open. So with the big wrist action, you will open that. But it's, as I said, a fair detent. But it's so smooth that I wouldn't even say that it's a con for me. I don't know if the detent were to be, I don't know, stronger. Will it have the same action as this one? I couldn't tell for sure. So that's why I would say that the overall ratio between the detent and this action is, to me, just perfect. I just like it like that, and I wouldn't change a thing on this knife because I would be afraid that it would spoil the overall feel that I have about it. So perfect. Look at that. I mean, oh man, this smoothness is just addictive. Just want to open it and close it like that. Just fantastic. Now the grind. That's a chisel grind. So again, why do I like that? Oh man, I couldn't tell. But there is something that I just adore on this one, and it's the fact that it has a groove. So even the non-grind side has some virtue. First of all, you have the overall design with the harpoon, and also the stonewash. And the stonewash is almost the same. Look at that. It's really well done because the stonewash of the blade is almost the same as the one on let's call them a bolster. So you see, it's very consistent. You know, I absolutely love that. Love that groove. Love that blade shape. Just great blade shape. Now, the grind side. The grind side is fantastic. I like Horton usually will use thick knives, for this for his chisel. I like the real deep stonewash. I mean, the one that I had, the other Horton that I have, didn't have a deep stonewash like that. It had this finish, like the Tennessee finish with the kind of satin, in between satin and stonewash. This one has a really dark stonewash. You don't see the grind lines. It's really dark, and the contrast that it brings with the tip here is just fantastic. You have a kind of triple finish on Horton grind. Usually you're gonna have one finish here on the flat and on the bevel, one finish which is the high polish finish on the tip, and this kind of ground finish where you see the grind lines on the kind of swedge that you have here. You see what I mean? Here. You see this ground part, which is totally different than the flat, of course, and the bevel, and totally different than the tip. So you have this triple finish that I just adore. So yeah, this convex part here on the tip, this bevel here, there is something about those grinds that speak to my heart, and this is why I like Horton chisel. That's it. Not chisel per se, but just those grinds. Man, this is what I meant when I say that passion will surpass reason. I cannot explain that, but when I look at that, and even here on the spine here, I just like this cut here, this pointy thing that you can tell that it could stab anything. This thing is not made for cut or cut your bread or whatever. If you were to use it, of course you can use it for your bread or your but this is something that is stabby. Look at that. You want to penetrate things, which I don't recommend. But look at that. It's so, I mean, just the look of it is just fantastic, and I like this knife from every angle. I don't know if I mentioned the backspacer, but look at that. The contour backspacer in my Micarta is fantastic. Some others, of the FTR, I mean, I don't know why they used some like orange G10 or something that is, inconsistent with the rest of the knife. This knife is really consistent, and this is what I really like it, because it has this perfect finish with the bolster lock, with the micarta also on the backspacer. Also, it has this very nice lanyard. Usually I'm not one to like lanyard, but it comes with that lanyard that is just fantastic, and that bead that is, I don't know what it's made of. Honestly, I don't know. Probably titanium because it's light. Yeah, I would say titanium, and very nice bead. Yeah, oh man, we are almost at 15 minutes. I wanted to say a word about the lock. The engagement is very nice. I wanted to say also that it's really, the pieces of micarta are really thick. So this way you have something that it's milled a lot, in the liner. It almost looks like a liner. Look at that. I mean, look at how thin it is here on this side. because the pieces, usually when you do a bolster lock, you're going to use like thinner pieces than this one. But this one is a thick pieces, and you have here almost like a liner. No thickness whatsoever. I'm heading to the 15 minutes. Very nice centering. I have to leave it at that. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye, my friend.